Oh, criticism. How do you feel when you are criticized? Does that make you do better? Does that inspire you to do more of what people are suggesting you do? And don't you find that when you get criticized, it's mostly from family members? And family members do love you. And that's the only reason they're criticizing you, is because they love you and care about you and want to see you doing better, and better from their perspective only. Um, so through love, they throw off all these suggestions and these criticisms, and maybe you should be doing this and doing that. And it's like, why can't you see that what I'm doing is okay? Why can't you see, there's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing? And um, I'm personally finding that the people that happen to love me the most do the most criticism. And just because I'm recovering from a lot of abuse and taking some time off and recuperating, I had crashed. And when I crashed, it's like I lost all self esteem. I lost, if I can't make this system work, there's something wrong with me. And thank God everybody's starting to notice that the systems are a little bit corrupt, because I would have been completely nuts if what happened to me 30 years ago, because everybody would have said that there's something wrong with me. And it's like, no, the government systems aren't working. The um, court systems aren't working. The police systems aren't working. There's a lot of systems that we're starting to recognize that don't work. And because I lived in the experience, you know, when you find out that the things that you trust aren't really real, it devastates you. And you're trying to fight the system. You're trying to make a go of it, and trying to survive it and come to the top, and get an education and work hard. And it's like, okay, why is it this education and working hard didn't pay off? There's a reason. And chances are that reason is because of all the systems that are aren't functioning properly. So when you find out that they all collapse, you're like a deer in headlight. You lose your own self-esteem. You don't trust yourself at all. And then people come around and criticize you all the time. And these are the people that aren't really awake to what's really going on. They haven't walked in your shoes. And even this Bible is suggesting that don't judge another man until you walk in their shoes. And boy, is that ever correct. Because while you're making criticism, you are not taking into account all of the experiences that this person that you're criticizing has to deal with all the time. And when you criticize somebody or make a suggestion that we want to see you do better, what you're actually doing is lowering that person's self-esteem. You're making them feel that I can't trust myself at all. If everything I'm doing is wrong, then I can't move. I can't move forward. I can't put one foot in front of the other, because you've now told me that you can't trust yourself because everything you're doing is wrong. So then it paralyzes you, so you can't put one foot in front of another and move. So criticism is the worst thing that we can possibly do to another person. And let's face it, the only reason you're criticizing is because you're trying to get somebody to do what you want them to do. And for the most part, we do it out of love, because we want them to do better. We want the people we love to do better. But here's the deal. If you even look at hypnotizing somebody, or reprogramming somebody to do what you want them to do, the golden rule of that is you can't make anybody do something that they don't want to do. But you can make somebody do anything as long as they want to do it. And what is it we want to do? We want to feel good about ourselves. We want to be able to trust ourselves. When we trust ourselves, then we move forward. So if you want somebody to develop a behavior that you want, find something good about somebody. Say something good about any behavior. I know that I wanted my kids to be really, really smart. And the school systems were all telling them they were stupid. And I always said, oh, you're brilliant, you're brilliant, you're brilliant. And don't pay attention to these teachers, they don't know what they're talking about. And as a result, I ended up getting very, very brilliant kids. And it's not just me that thinks, oh, my kids are brilliant. One of them, without even having a high school education, um, had gone into a university and was talking about some technical information and had to talk with every engineering department of that university. And every engineer department made the assumption that he was a graduate of that field. So they all thought that he had a graduate education in every engineering field because of what he was talking about. He knew so much about everything that he was talking about that it just seemed like he had a really great education, and yet he didn't even have high school. So I found that, if you want somebody to be trusting, if you want to trust your kids and they're not showing any behavior to be trusted, then find something really small. You have to say something that's true, but something, really work hard at finding something that you can trust about them and say, I really love when I can trust you. And when you do this, this really makes me feel like I can trust you. And then all of a sudden they get more focus on, hey, trust is something I get a lot of attention for. So I'm going to do more and more things that make me feel trusted by other people. And I know that in the situation I'm at and getting the criticism I'm at, I know that it's all coming from love. But if I had more support of, hey, you're really smart, you know what you're doing, and you've done such a great job, that builds my self-esteem. That makes me want to move forward. That you know, belief in self is something that we all want to do. And when we criticize somebody else, that lowers their ability to believe in themselves. So if you want the people that you love to do better, start saying good things about other people. Start building them up. Build somebody's self-esteem, and you'll find they'll walk a better path. It is like hypnotizing them to do whatever you want them to do. Focus on whatever it is. If it's trust, then focus on things to trust in. If it's, good work ethic, then say a lot of things about their work ethic. It's so easy to criticize somebody, and it's a lot harder to find a compliment. But it's the judger that actually has the problem, because while you're judging and you're putting other people down. And if you want them to do what you want them to do, build people up and they'll follow you. That you'll be their hero. Just a thought.